When I finished my manuscript and submitted it to the publishing company, the chief editor assigned to me was a 76-year-old Caucasian lady. And I said, yeah, this ain't gonna work out. And she said to me, well, Carlos, we really love it, but we feel like your terminologies are above the head of your target market. And I said, well, that's funny because we haven't discussed target market. Are you suggesting to me black people can't read? And she said, no, that's not what I'm saying. I said, well, please explain to me what you're saying, because my book is about life, and if you are looking at this, you are living. That is the target audience.
Tell you, that is probably one of the main reasons that I self-publish, because I want to own not just my work, but I want to own how I write, the things that I say. Maybe controversial, maybe not, but I don't need a gatekeeper telling me what my words mean or who my audience is. What up, y'all? Welcome back. I'm Christopher Markland. To me, all writers target their work to specific niches. I mean, it's kind of obvious, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. All genres can be broken down into those specific niches, no matter what it may be. Now, when you have that niche, that's your target audience, your nerds, the people that you are speaking to. And when I say speaking to, you're talking their language, meaning their lingo. For instance, I'm into aircraft, I'm into flying, I'm working on that pilot's license. That's one of my bucket, what they call them, bucket lists or whatever. That's something that I want. So if in my book, and I'm known for putting references for flight or flying or private licenses, etc. If I was to say United 0417 Heavy, then, you know, people who are into that, into aircraft, into flying, into whatever, or they may have worked as whatever the case may be, they know that I'm talking about United flight number 0417. It's a heavy aircraft, meaning that it's got a gross takeoff weight of over, you know, they know those things. So that is what I mean when I say you're speaking the language of your audience. You know, you're talking to them. You know your specific audience, your target audience. Now, one time I had an editor, and you know I sent over the book, and in it in the manuscript it had you know I think I wrote I'm gonna go get some wings. When they returned the manuscript back to me, it said I'm going to go get some chicken wings. Man, I rejected that so quick. The reason why? My audience, African American, that's what we know, that's how we speak. That's not to say that it's what they call it, ebonics or nothing like that. It's just how we talk. And I hit the mic again. It's just a casual way of speaking. It's not a formal way of speaking. That's not to say it's wrong. That's not to say it's right. It is right. It is right. Anyway, that's how we speak to each other. That's my target audience, and I'm speaking to them in the language, in the vernacular, in the colloquialisms that we speak with. So you know your target audience, you speak their language, and quite honestly, don't let nobody change that. Don't let an editor, you speak your target language of your audience. But at the same time, there are norms that have to be followed. You do have to, proper speech, etc. As far as not speech, but as far as punctuation, things like that. There are certain norms, certain standards that have to be met. However, there are also, like I said, there are also ways that you can just move within those norms. Now, something else too, building your target audience. I mean, you have your target audience and now you want to build and grow. That's actually an opportunity for you to educate your audience. Now, for me, like in Desperately Seeking Exclusivity, my first book, I talked about the PlayStation 4 and the dudes were playing Madden and stuff like that. Just the language, the headsets, that kind of thing. All right. In Desperately Seeking Pleasure, my second book, which was that's the one that sat on the cruise ship. I talked about the crew berths, meaning not just the people who are on the ship where they lived, how they, in their cabins, but the crew where they lived. I had to do a lot of research to get that information because it's not necessarily something that is known to the public. So what I did, I used the knowledge that I learned and educated my audience. So little things like that, when you have your target audience, you know who they are, you can educate them. You can let them know things about you. Y'all, I swear, trying to record a video with a little dog is like, it's like this little puppy's getting in the end. Anyway, let me get back on track. So things like that are how you can educate your audience about certain little things. Now, know your niche, know your target audience. For me, my niche is African American romance. Excuse me, my genre is African American romance. My niche is heterosexual couples in the 30 to 45 age range. So I just broke it down because African American romance for teenagers is different than African American romance for seniors. There's a difference. And then also breaking it down even further, there's a difference between a heterosexual African American romance, or LGBTQ. And y'all, if I missed a few letters, my bad. But you also have polyamorous couples as well, where you're talking about the, two husbands, two wives, that kind of thing. So they're different niches. Speak to your niche, know the language of your niche, meaning there's a lingo for every situation. I don't care if you're in trucking, if you're in the lifestyle or whatever the case may be. Me using that word, the lifestyle, people who know, they know, that kind of thing. Their terms, vanilla, poly, all of those things. Know your niche, know your target audience. So, with that in mind, y'all, hey, what is your favorite niche? What do you like to read? And as a writer, what do you write? And also, what is what makes an author that you may like, that you follow? What makes them good? What makes them stand out in their niche? And what's someone that you may have read? It's like, man, what is this trash? You can tell that that's not what they know, but they tried to dive into a subject matter that is just not their area. Give me an example of that. All right. Hey, y'all, once again, keep writing, stay determined. See y'all next time.